Matt came up to me a minute ago, and he was going, and I was like, man, this kid is on drugs. It turned out he was trying to express he did not know how to say my name, so I had to tell him how to say my name, and he nailed it. So give him a round of applause for nailing the name. It's not an easy thing to do. Real quick, I want to thank my wife, who encouraged me to make a post on Facebook saying, hey, I don't have any readings at AWP. Does anybody have anything going on that they want to invite me on to? I want to thank Joshua Robbins, who I haven't seen for more than 10 years. I've known for 15 years, who communicated to Jerry who I was, who brought me on to a reading at AWP with Octavio, and then Octavio, thank you for inviting me to this. It's really interesting, the journey that gets you to the places that you are with your work. Visiting Hours is my second book. I started writing it, in 2003, one of my best friends of all time committed suicide. So I guess I started writing the book the day that she took her own life. But I really started to intentionally write this book in 2007. I wrote about nothing until 2017 when I finished it. It then took 3 years to get it picked up by a press. So it's 13 years. Go back to even more, we'll go 13. Then it took 2 years to come out on the same day that the NBA, the National Basketball Association, the NBA shut down for COVID. Not a great day for a book to come out. The news cycle was sort of focused on that. So, long story short, it's had a very strange coming into the world, and I'm actually really happy about that. I think it's very appropriate. And so, it's just all more meaningful to come here and to have a space to share a little bit of her and this book. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to read the title poem is in 8 sections. I'm going to read 6 of them because we don't have enough time for me to continue on. And to leave you with a little something to want to go after. So thank you again. This is Visiting Hours. Then we knew nothing of sadness. No suicide threats or institutional wards. Sleep came naturally to us in our beds, and when I dreamed of Mary. But on the phone, she was all stories of group therapy and the crazies who listed down the long pharmaceutical hallways, the fluorescent strain when shock waves flagged the lines, how when the twin red oaks bled their shadows past the gate, another night came calling. Still, when the doctor's opinions turned and Mary came home, the ward's work became our own. Antipsychotics and insomnia dreams, the list of sharp objects we checked our world against. She shaved her head and called it liminal, slept by day and shook coffee to her mouth by night, sinking deeper and deeper into the diamond blue oracle of her laptop when all but the clocks were sleeping. When finally she did it, a year had passed in that bedroom we swore not to enter. Dim shafts of dust and beams through the blacked out casements. The instructions Mary scrawled in black Sharpie across her mirror. Wake, brush your teeth, stop thinking such things. 2. No one prepared me my entrance into that ship of lost souls where Mary slept. No one taught me to mask each step I took across the checkered linoleum, or that it wasn't wandering, that pea path of pea gravel and weeds that wound backlot's maze of 50-year boxwoods and a crumbling slave wall, that path the doctors had Mary keep. Pulling handfuls of bluegrass and henbit, I brought her back to childhood's game of hands. I turned her palm over in my palm, traced her birth line with the tip of a finger, and read the will of the thumb, said, "You will name your children for the saints," only to watch her turn her hand into a fist around another clump of thistle. What could I do? I, nothing but a boy dangling before her, searching for the words to summon the girl I once knew from the girl she had become. Her hair already turned the dun of the ash of her cigarette. Our eyes turned all hours to the closed doors of the earth. Her down-turned lashes, the wings of some darkly sane and wing-broke bird. 3. Her oversized t-shirt, her paint-spattered jeans, bras hung like fourth notes from the bedpost, piston bars of light, then dark, then light again, cast by the south-facing window. None of it seemed real. I, a member of the perfectly sane, allotted his single hour. So I took it all in. The displaced game pieces and faded carpet, the gowned residents hugging the ward's warped walls, the courtyard where I found her in the sanctum of smoke. Standing in the doorway I held open, I watched a rhombus of daylight scroll across Mary's star-turned face, her eyes fluttering, the hardback she'd been reading perched like a little roof on the house of her chest. When I went to her, I went quietly, careful not to disturb the garden's foundation of vines, the bird bath poised on its pedestal. What else could I do but watch her sleep? The lives of straight hairs moving across her face, a flicker of dream beneath her lids, the waterless water fountain. 4. The doctors told them, keep an eye on your daughter, but she need not stay here. Watch her take her pills 3 times a day. Let her rest all day in her bedroom. But when she descended the carpeted stairs that linked her world to ours, her parents said she stumbled like an injured angel in her nightgown down that handful of steps and gazed about the kitchen and its objects, the Eiffel Tower pepper shaker, the checkered tablecloth, as if she'd entered a stranger's house. That's when John posted his list of chores to the refrigerator door, and Beth began to plan Mary's return to college. The writing gig at the local paper, not quite enough to fulfill the dean's requirements. So came the radical post-feminist papers she wrote for her long-distance course. So came the late-night journaling sessions that lasted well into the afternoon. I am a freight train, she wrote in perfect block print in a margin of a notebook. I am a freight train, she scribbled on a rolling paper. I am the rain. I am inane. I may not fly like a great blue crane, but I am not insane. I am not insane. I am not insane. 5. Blame delirium. Blame the bad pills. Blame her thin blood and vanishing periods. Blame the spasms in her back, how she could crack her neck at the snap of green twigs and flame. Blame the drugs they had her take. Blame the pall. Blame malaria and the faulty doctors. The shrink with his bifocals and beard. The mosquito for its infected proboscis. Blame the military for its failed recipe. Blame bad blood. Blame lucid dreams. Blame bellyaches and the night nurse, her concoction of tablets. Blame linoleum. Blame white sheets and matching curtains reading in and out of the window. Blame the ticking space heater and the stars' poor lineman's Western medicine's failed search for an antidote. Blame nausea. Blame vomiting. Blame diarrhea. Blame dizziness, loss of balance. Blame stomach pain, muscle pain, difficulty falling asleep, difficulty staying asleep, difficulty breathing. Blame the rash and seizures. Blame the rash of seizures. Blame rain. Blame the sun. Blame a loss of feeling in the toes, confusion and forgetfulness. Blame the radio's bad signal. Blame passenger planes, power lines, transformers. Blame shaking in the arms and legs, panic attacks. Blame hallucinations. Blame. Blame the parking garage's easy access. Blame the voices no one heard but she. Blame visions. Blame waking dreams and miscommunications. Blame the thoughts of suicide. Blame her legs that did the leaping. Blame the beautiful. Blame the mosquito, its hunger. Blame hunger. Blame Nepal. Blame delirium. Blame delirium. Blame anything but me. 6. Who's to say a star-spread sky didn't warp or flex above the foothills that night? Or that any kind of light at all broke free of the clouds to knife its gloom across the snowbank rooftops and empty lots of Blacksburg, Virginia's 3 a.m. All I know for sure is the clamor the cordless made from my desk, the gin and tonic headache I woke to, my sister's voice like static. This was my final semester of college, hawking Rolling Rocks and hoagies to professors, and ROTC at a deli a block from the power plant. On Fridays, I'd kneel in rubber gloves to cleanse the massive industry of steakums and craft powdered Alfredo for an extra under-the-table $5. Then I'd clock out to fight the gales of wind that gathered speed between the dormitories and halls before finding my seat around the conference table of amateur theorists. But I have no idea what 3 a.m. this was, or whether the westerlies howled or bayed as my sister's words caromed the complicated wound of my ear. All I know for sure is how slowly the receiver fell from my hand, the dent it left in the hardwoods, how the lights in the hallway snapped to life, and my roommates floated from their bedrooms in their night clothes like angels. Who knows what else happened on that day? I've read a platoon of American boys led a night raid on Kabul and came back men. I have no doubt the thermometers ruptured at the county airport with cold. Somewhere, it's certain, God made another of God's billion daily revisions of the world. But what did any of that matter anymore? All I could see was you, the ledge, all that snow, your mother clenching the blue bed sheets in her sleep, your father holding his head in his impossible hands, the calls he has to make. Thank you. That's your, we're already there.
Okay, anything I could next up we have Jennifer Steinmore. And send it all
Just go. Still going.
I don't know how to use her phone.